PathMonk is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. PathMonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add PathMonk to your website in seconds, let the AI do all the work, and get access to 50% more qualified leads while you keep doing marketing and sales as usual. Check us on pathmonk.com. Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Ellen Burke from Open, demand generation manager with them. How are you doing today, Ellen?
I'm all good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. And well, Ellen, let's kick it off so that our listeners learning a little bit about Open. In your own words, tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, of course. So we are a corporate gifting platform based out of here in Ireland, and we've got pricing and packages to suit all needs and all companies of all sizes. We thoughtfully source gifts, automate when and how they're sent, and handle all of your logistics from start to finish.
All right, interesting. And so that way then our listeners could get a good understanding there of Open then, Ellen. What would you say is those key problems that you guys like to solve?
I suppose fundamentally corporate gifting is broken and we're here to fix it. That's kind of our core message. Corporate gifting at the moment can be quite wasteful, very unsustainable. A lot of the gifts are the same. So really what we are, I suppose, here for is to help you curate some really, really thoughtful gifts that are suitable to your brand and to your audience. We support with gifting your employees, gifting your clients. You might have swag or merch at events. So we support all of that. And I think where we're different is just the quality and the sustainability piece that we always make sure is possible with their gifts.
Okay, awesome. Great to hear that then. So then, is there a certain vertical segment? Is there an ideal ICP then for Open?
Yeah, so I suppose ICP is something that we've kind of worked on over the past year. We typically work with like technology, software, financial companies, but really we work with any company that's looking to gift their clients or their employees at scale. And essentially, yeah, anyone that, is hoping to send out some really thoughtful gifts to people that to matter to them.
Definitely. Okay, important. I like that. So then how would somebody then usually find out about Open? Is there a top client acquisition channel for you guys?
It kind of depends. I think a lot of our growth has actually stemmed from word of mouth. So our gift quality and the gift experience is actually really impactful and a lot of recipients absolutely love it. So we've kind of grown through word of mouth, and typically because we make it so easy and so seamless for you to gift at scale, we typically would find, people that have worked with us in the past and they move on to another role will generally seek us out and try and work with us again. So we've been really blessed that a lot of our growth has kind of stemmed from that word of mouth piece, just based on our product quality. But other channels that we find great success in is Google Ads. And we typically would see, a lot of people that are actively searching for corporate gifting. We were kind of placing bids on those terms. It's a really good acquisition channel for us. We've also invested heavily in SEO and content. And I think a lot of the content on our website, if you take a look at it, is really, really informative. And it's really important if you were, someone that say, I don't know how to start my corporate gifting program, maybe you're, in HR and you're thinking of onboarding swag. We have a lot of content up there that's, there to kind of help guide you in terms of what you should gift or even how to kick that process off. And a lot of people seem to find us through that as well. In the last couple of months, we've also kind of, revisited our LinkedIn strategy. So we're also looking at kind of publishing some really relevant information through thought leadership pieces on our LinkedIn. And we also know that obviously a lot of our audience is on LinkedIn. They might not be in market. So we're kind of focused on nurturing them for the moment where they'll actively look for us at a later point when they're ready to kick off corporate gifting.
Definitely important. Okay, I'm great to hear that. So then that way our listeners then who are tuned in could go ahead and visit you. They could always check you out at andopen.co. What role does the website then play for client acquisition?
I mean, our website is critical. I think even from, if say they're reaching out to people, like our website is the core place that we want to send them to. Our website is our kind of first destination for a lot of our Google and LinkedIn ads. And obviously it's where you'll find us if you are searching on the web or looking for support with corporate gifting. We have a Chili Piper link. So it's really easy to kind of book your own demo and have your call with sales and figure out what isn't right for you and if we're the right fit. It's really, really important to us. And as it's kind of saying, we've invested hugely in terms of the content that's there. It's redesigned on, we've got gift guides for holiday season. We've got gift guides for certain people that are in your office. So yeah, it's kind of our first touch point as well for a lot of our new prospects that are trying to get into the world of corporate gifting, or potentially looking at launching a new program within their company.
Definitely important. All right, like that. So then, is there any tools or tips or methods that you would recommend to our listeners as far as some website lead generation?
Yeah, I think for me anyway, both as someone that's looked at numerous marketing tools, and someone that's kind of audited our website multiple times, I think anything that keeps people engaged, like that's why we've invested a lot in our content. Being able to provide really informative information to your audience that they'll actually find really helpful, because there's a lot of noise out there right now. It's very difficult to learn. If you're, for example, launching a gifting program tomorrow for, say, your employees, it's really difficult to know where to begin. So I think anything that kind of keeps people engaged, like content, is really, really important. And other things that I find really, really kind of cool or engaging have been on-site demos, where you've got like a tooltip that will kind of walk you through the product. So you get an understanding of what the product is before you speak to a salesperson. So just from a qualifying, method, that it's really important I know what the product is that I'm signing up for. And obviously if I booked a demo as part of that, then clearly I'm interested. So I think there's kind of two key pieces. And I'm also someone that really loves video. So I think any kind of video on site, particularly with like your founder or some of your like more senior leadership team, can be really, really important and really, really cool as well for your audience to kind of buy into the brand.
Okay, awesome. Great to hear that from you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And well, let's switch gears a little bit then here. And Ellen, and let's talk about you as a leader. You being the demand manager there for And Open. What are some key tasks I'd like to focus on your day-to-day work?
So I currently am working a lot with sales at the moment, which is great. I'm able to kind of actually really understand how our leads are performing. Obviously, as a marketer, it's really good when you see like 70 leads come in over the course of a month, or 100 leads come in over the course of the month. But I think actually understanding what happens slowly to those leads, what they're talking about, what they actually understand about the brand from, either the content that you're pushing out in your ads or even just the website. So I've been working really, really closely with sales over the last couple of months to understand like how those leads are performing, what is their awareness of And Open, how, where is their thoughts, or where are they at with their projects, how high intent are they? So it's been great. And we were also testing a couple of different verticals as well that we feel like corporate gifting would be a fit for. And some of our messaging and segmentation. So it's been really, really interesting for me to work with sales so closely on that. I also manage our inbound channels, which largely is our Google and LinkedIn ads. So I'm pretty much in there every single day, trying to optimize different pieces, or just even get an understanding of what keywords work and don't work and how our audience is performing. So yeah, that's kind of my day-to-day overall.
Awesome. All right. Great. Thank you so much for sharing that. It sounds like you have a full plate there on your hands. So that in your between time, how do you like to stay up to date with all the news in the marketing world as far as trends, strategies? Is there a preferred channel that you like to go with?
God, it's so difficult because there's so much content out there nowadays. Like I find even some of the content can be a little bit contradictory, and you can kind of go down into rabbit holes, which has happened to me in the past. But what I kind of typically like to look at the moment is like Reddit for a little bit of inspiration, because I actually find sometimes when you go through the boards, you can find like some really, really cool tidbits of information, and I've learned a lot there. I also find the HubSpot blog really, really helpful. It's really like helped me kind of even understand like what I should be doing in demand gen, or what other people are doing kind of demand gen. And then other than that, I actually troll a lot through LinkedIn posts and just kind of monitoring what people are talking about and how they're talking about it. And I largely use kind of, any of the resources that they're tagging, I'll kind of go back and do my own kind of deep dive into. And there's also another website, of course, obviously look at Pathmonk, but there's another website called Pocus that I also take a look at, because they have really, really interesting thoughts on like product-led growth, which is something that I'm interested in. So yeah, I think I try and kind of round it as much as possible. And if I'm kind of busy doing a task where, I might be filling in like some information, I'll also listen to a couple of different podcasts and things like that. So yeah, and I've also been quite lucky in the last couple of months to kind of connect with people from other marketing teams and other companies. So I can get a little bit more idea of, what have other people tested, and we're able to kind of share our knowledge a bit better. And I've learned a huge amount from that.
Definitely important. All right. Awesome. Great. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And we'll let's jump into our next section then here, which is our rapid fire question rounds.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. First off then, Ellen, what is the last book that you read?
The last book that I read is a book called Drunk Tank Pink. It's basically looking at why we do the things that we do, and like I suppose the undercurrent of like how a name might impact you in later life, how certain colors impact you. I'm massively into consumer behavior, which I think kind of helps in my role. But I just find it really, really interesting just to kind of understand, like, certain name might lead you down a certain path, be it your first name or your last name, or if you grow up and say certain, with certain kind of ideas around you, you'll kind of end up going one way or the other. So it's just been a really, really interesting book for me to look at.
Definitely important. Okay, awesome. Great book there. Now, what is one single thing that your company's focused on at the moment the most?
That our company is focused on, it's probably, I suppose, scalability, realistically, and how our product can scale. We've been really, really interested in product-led growth, and how we can kind of, I suppose, ultimately grow our product. We've got 4 different kind of tiers for a product. We've got our free tier, which is like a marketplace. You can go in and pick a product, send it to who you want to, and a lot of companies will use that for like their one-off gifting, or it might be a manager, just sending an employee like a welcome gift or a thank you gift or a milestone gift. And then we've got kind of 3 enterprise tiers. So that's when you move into kind of a paid plan. So I think a lot of the time you would have a dedicated CSM across our tiers. And not to brag, but they are really, really, really good client success team, and they really are focused on trying to help our companies understand their gift briefs, trying to kind of support them in sourcing like custom gifts, custom swag, making sure that logistically the swag ends up where it needs to, or the gift ends up where it needs to. It might be a booth in the middle of Texas, or whatever it kind of is. So they're great. But I think the idea is like how do we get our product to continue to grow and nurture and provide the same level of support without maybe that human touch. So that's something that we're really focused on at the moment is PLG, and how do we get our platform, to be so self-sufficient that essentially you potentially won't need to speak to someone. You can kind of do everything in platform, and the platform will grow with you.
Okay, important. Love that. Love that. Now, if there's one repetitive task that you could automate, then what would that be?
Reporting. I think there's one, I suppose most marketers would probably say the same thing, like attribution fundamentally can be really difficult to understand. And I think even with all the tools and channels out there, it's really, really tricky to understand where our audience like first sees us, to where they might have come back to our website, to what videos are they watching. I think we're kind of blank in that discovery phase, and what we're left with from a reporting point of view a lot of the time is their last touch or where they last came from. And I think that's getting more and more difficult, with obviously some of the privacy changes, which are understandable why they need to come into place, but it can be difficult to understand, like, where should I put my spend, or where are people coming from, or where are we educating them from. So I think if I could automate something, potentially using technology, it would be trying to figure out, reporting and where people are coming from, and really being able to like build out a touch point kind of list on, say for example, our audience look at our ads on LinkedIn, to they've come back to our website through maybe Google display ad, through they've come back in through a search campaign, through our SEO content, or whatever it may be. At the moment, I have a lot of manual reporting where I'm trying to kind of get all of our channels and our reporting softwares together and kind of download them all and like understand, one tool is saying that there's 115 leads coming in from it, and another tool is saying no, there's actually 60. So yeah, if there was one thing I'd love to automate correctly, it would be attribution and reporting.
Definitely important. All right. Great to hear that. And well, we are coming to the end of the show here today. But before I do end, I do want to know, you do have a lot of experience already in the marketing world. So what would be that one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer?
I would probably say you know more than you think, so speak up often. I think that's something that a lot of people in marketing, we always kind of give off this impression that we're quite confident. I think a lot of the times if you've gone to any like college for marketing education, or just working in marketing, you're used to presentations, you're used to speaking, but you might not be used to speaking kind of your own thoughts. And I think there's a couple of times over my career where, had I spoken up, something might have turned out differently, like a project or a campaign. And I think, yeah, if I could go back in time, I'd say speak your mind a little bit more often, get your ideas out there. They're good, they're valuable, and people need to hear them.
Very important. All right. Love that. And well, it's been a pleasure to have you on our show.
Thank you so much.
But before we do end, I do want to give you the last word. So say someone forgets everything about the interview today. What is that one thing to remember about And Opened?
That we provide sustainable and thoughtful corporate gifting at scale. So if you're looking for any gifting solution, what any price point, or looking for any particular package, we have something that will support you and your gifting needs.
Well, there you guys heard it. You could always check them out at anopen.co. Ellen, it's been a pleasure to have you on with us today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm looking forward to our next episode at Pat Monk Presents. Thanks a lot, Ellen.
Thank you.